Special Investigations Unit is investigating the death of a 28-year-old man. There were a number of 911 calls that were placed from a residence on Cornerstone Drive in Burlington. And following that, Halton Police, they responded to a household and they saw a man fleeing upstairs in the residence. And at that time, the man was found with a serious self-inflicted wound. There was an arrest that was attempted to be made, and then following that, there were life-saving measures that were attempted. Following that, EMS was called and they responded to the scene. Also in the course of that, another individual, a man, was located deceased in the residence. There was also a female who was located with injuries. She was taken to hospital and she has since been released from hospital. Currently, SIU investigators are interviewing and canvassing for witnesses around the neighborhood. In the course of today and tomorrow and in the coming days, there will be 5 witness officers who will be interviewed, and there are also 2 subject officials who have been designated. There's no body-worn camera footage, but as I said, investigators are canvassing and they are interviewing a number of witnesses through the course of the investigation. Now, the focus of the SIU investigation is the death of the 28-year-old man. Halton Police is conducting a parallel criminal investigation into the fatality of the other individual and also the injuries that were inflicted upon the female. Any questions?
So is this a murder-suicide?
I can't confirm that. That's really for Halton Police to investigate. At this time, though, the SIU is investigating the death of a 28-year-old man, and we're continuing to do that at this time.
What kind of injuries did he have, the 28-year-old man? You said it was a serious injury that he had.
He had a self-inflicted injury believed to have been caused by a knife, and he was pronounced deceased at the scene.
Is this a family?
I can't confirm that, but I can confirm that these individuals are known to each other.
Do you know how much time passed between when officers first arrived and he was found with injuries?
The information I have is that the 911 calls were placed at about 12:30 a.m. this morning. As far as the response time, I don't have that right now. There are a number of documents and things like that that are coming through from Halton, so we're just in the process of piecing everything together.
How old was the other man?
What about from the time when police arrived on scene and paramedics were called?
I don't have that information right now. Yeah.
How old was the other man that was found dead inside the home?
I'm not able to say. I believe he's in his 50s.
And what about the woman?
How old is she? Same thing, in her 50s as well. Yes.
And her injuries, how serious are they?
Non-life-threatening, non-serious injuries. She has been released from hospital.
Did police use tasers or anything like that?
We have uncovered evidence of a conducted energy weapon, and then we're in the process of conducting interviews to determine how that was used.
Can you clarify where within the house the interaction with police and the 28-year-old happened?
Upstairs. The 28-year-old is deceased upstairs in the residence.
So the calls that came from various neighbors, what were the nature of those calls?
Just to clarify, I'm not sure what the source was of the 911 calls. Preliminary information indicates that those 911 calls were placed, but there wasn't anyone on the other line. I think there was some voices that were heard on the other line. The call, I think, was put through as unknown trouble, and then police responded. So I'm not sure that they kind of knew exactly what they were getting into when they arrived.
So when police arrived, this 28-year-old man was running up the stairs. Was there any sort of resisting arrest
Early information that's been provided to us is that there was a struggle between the male upstairs with police, and there would have been a brief interaction and a conducted energy weapon. And then there was also the self-inflicted wound suffered by this individual. Life-saving measures that were attempted to be provided. EMS called, they came, and that's sort of the information that I have right now at this early stage.
Have police pronounced dead on scene?
Correct, yeah. Both individuals, both men were pronounced deceased.
Have police been to this residence before?
I don't have information about prior history. As I said, Halton Police is conducting a parallel criminal investigation. Our focus is on the deceased individual, the 28-year-old.
Just I apologize, I may have missed it. Was there a weapon located at the scene at all?
There has been a knife that has been looked at, yes. Yeah.
And the nature of the non-28-year-old's death, was that from a stab?
I don't have information on cause of death for the other individual right now. Yes. Yeah. What I can tell you is there's a postmortem that's being scheduled that should happen either today or possibly Thursday.
So
You talk about self-inflicted wounds. I know it's really a way for the postmortem. Did it appear to be an edged weapon sort of wound?
Yes, it looks like an edged weapon. Yes, and a very serious self-inflicted wound.
So a statement from SIU used the term, I believe, like in custody sort of death. So for those people who might be seeing that at home, can you sort of explain a little bit more about what that means?
Sure. So the SIU is mandated to investigate any police-involved incident that results in a death, serious injury, etc. In this circumstance, there was an attempted arrest made by this individual upstairs, and there was an interaction, some conversations, and struggle that ensued as well. As to the specifics of that is under investigation, but that really is why the SIU is here investigating.
Can you clarify whether the self-inflicted wound happened before the attempted arrest or after or during?
I can say during the course of an arrest.
Can you talk about what's happening at the scene, like how long you're expected to be here? It looks like you're probably waiting for a warrant to get inside.
Correct, yes. So there are forensic investigators here. There are individuals taking photographs and collecting evidence. There are investigators that have been canvassing for witnesses and interviewing some of the neighbors. There's also some work going on to interview the witness officers. There are 5 witness officers who have been designated at this time and 2 separate officials that have been designated. So those interviews will be happening over today and the next coming days.
So to clarify, this 28-year-old man injured himself when police were already on scene.
So let me pause for a second. I would say it would be when police arrived, yes. Yeah, in and around that time. Yeah.
Were there only a few people who were arrested?
I can't say who exactly was here. I do know of the man who was located deceased in the home, and then the female, and then also the man. As for anyone else, I have no knowledge of anyone else in the home.
So a taser was used at activated at some point, but you can't say how it was activated, whether it touched this human.
No, not right now. So the reason I can say that is there is sort of taser wire and that sort of thing. But beyond that, it really is too early to say sort of if it struck him or what have you, or even, which officer did or anything like that. It really is just too early to say. Yeah.
Were the officers fearing for their own safety and lives?
I really couldn't say that. We haven't done the interviews yet, right? So I really wouldn't want to speculate what the officers may or may not have been thinking. But that's certainly something that will be uncovered in the coming days once we actually speak to the officers who were involved in there at the time.
Do you know if the officers, when they went to arrest him, knew that there was a deceased individual in the house, or was that discovery later?
That was sort of discovered when they arrived. As I said earlier, really, the 911 calls came through, and based on early information that we've received, there really wasn't any sort of solid indication of what was happening sort of until they got here. So, thank you very much.
Was the scene contained inside the house? Because you see that there's some outside.
There might be some evidence that has been located outside the home, but the majority of it would have been inside the residence. Thank you.